Normandy. His title of his speech is That Day at the Braves Game. Mike Normandy.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests.
Good evening.
How many of you like a real good ball game to go to let that stress out from the work week and settle down and have some popcorn and hot dogs and just have a great time? Well, I want to tell you about a story that really happened to me last year. I was on a business trip with some business associates, and we had about 10 of us. We were coming together in different cars, and we were going to meet at the Braves game. We had tickets called in advance to us, and we were really excited. The Yankees were in town. Got to see all the Jeter and just all the great players that were with the Yankees. And the interesting thing is that we had a senior manager coming with us, and he was not a Braves fan. He was a Yankees fan. He was a diehard Yankees fan. Okay? So here's what really happened. We showed up to the park about 6:30. We had come in and converged, meeting at the call where you call your tickets in. And there was something interesting about that night, that they had some type of warning going on where they were checking people for things in their pockets, dangerous objects. So his name was Alfred, and Alfred had one of these in his pocket. If you've ever had one of these, it's a Leatherman device, okay? It's quite expensive too. And he was the engineer type. He was kind of the gadget guy. He had to have something in his pocket. And they were checking for anything that might represent a sharp object. So they found this in his pocket. And he was kind of a hard individual where it was his way or no way. So security said, I'm going to have to confiscate that, Alfred, from you. And he said, there's no way you're going to take this from me. He said, well, you're either going to have to leave it here, have us take it, jeopardize losing it, or take it back to your car. Well, what happened was we had parked the car. Have you ever been to the Braves Stadium? The old parking lot is way on the north side where the old stadium used to be. And we walked blocks and blocks and blocks. So Alfred said, I'm going to take this back to the car. I'm not going to leave this here, lose it by chance of not having it again. So off he went back to the parking lot. So we're just going to have to go to the game and get our seats. So that's what we did. So he came back later on. We had great seats on the third base line, 2 rows behind the third baseman. Excellent seats. So on came Alfred back, all mad. They had to go all back to his car and drop off his line knife as far as losing it. So what happened was we had great seats, and he was the beer drinker type. So he started chugging some beers, 1, 2, and had some specials and things like that. And he started getting a little tipsy. And as you know, the third baseman for the Braves is Chipper Jones, okay? And there he was out there. And as Alfred started to drink his beer, he started kind of making some taunting remarks to Chipper. Chipper, you bum! You can't hit the ball! You can't do anything tonight! You can't do anything! We were right there close. So we're all subordinates. He's the manager. We're the subordinates. And we're starting to think, should we say something to him? The security maybe come down and speak to us. We said, no, I can't say anything. He's a manager from up north. I can't say anything. Just kind of keep it. He just kept drinking those beers. And lo and behold, security came down the aisle, and it was a bothersome event. He said, you're just going to have to cool it there, man, or we're going to haul you off there. So off he went again. But no, Alfred continued drinking the beer, and we were saying, what should we do? Should we, call him off somewhere? And my other worker said, no, don't say that to him. Go back and you might get us fired or something like that. So in security comes this time with a police officer. He said, if you keep this up, we're going to haul you guys off. And he was getting a little more belligerent. And sooner after a while, he kind of calmed down, and he kind of realized that he was going to be kicked out of the ballpark if he didn't kind of keep his cool about it. So anyway, the Braves ended up winning that night, so he was even more and more frustrated with the whole event. He was a camper, and he was going to give us a hard time about it, to make it known that he'd come all the way down from New York to see the Yankees win, but it just didn't happen that evening. So here's what happened. We went. He was driving the car, believe it or not, so he was going to get a designated driver, and parked the car way back there in the parking lot, and he knew what section was in, like F13, way back in the back and he was a little tipsy, so really didn't know where the car was actually. It was dark, it was about 10 o'clock or something like that. So we walked back where we thought the car was. It was not there. So we were walking that parking lot for like 30 or 40 minutes looking for our car. It was getting dark. It was getting to a place you didn't want to be late at night. It was getting kind of dangerous looking. And we finally found the car after about 40 minutes. Got on 85, and then we just kind of pulled into the parking lot. There was a bad accident on 85 and 20 right there. And lo and behold, we just sat there and sat there and sat there. And needless to say, we had some very disappointed Braves fans, but he was a little tipsy, but all in all, we learned a lesson. And that lesson is the midst of your managers, learn to hold your tongue, but also have a good time at the Braves game.
Mike's speech was 5 minutes and 37 seconds.
Can we get 1 minute for you to write?